it was kind of a unique item, so I could see people paying upwards. But thrifting Las Vegas, Tiffany, I mean, her prices were what you would expect to pay at an antique store.
Wow.
So people would come in and shop, and they would go, well, I don't understand the concept. And I'm like, as a store manager, I don't understand the concept. But,
Right.
whatever. So I told Danny right from the beginning, I said, you're going to manage those people. I'm not managing Mikey Bags of Money or Sunny or Carrie or anything like that. I will do the nonprofits because that's my niche. But speaking of that, is it niche or is it, there's a debate out there. Is
Niche
it
or
niche? I think it's niche, but she says
yeah,
niche.
It's niche. So
Okay.
I want to read a couple of comments and give you a break from talking for a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Patricia says when Danny held an auction at the Time Machine, she had to have an auctioneer. So it was Patrick McManus came in. So I don't know that a permit is all that's required. That would need to be checked on. Mr. and Mrs. Happy and Love says, Patricia, nonprofits are different, but they need a permit for walk auction, and Danny needs one too when she does her claim LOL bids. And then JDA says, I could only imagine what would happen if Danny stepped foot in a place of worship. Let's see. Vicky Gomeski says, so happy that all of you are speaking up. Hudson says, me too, Rebecca. I never thought of it as hypnotized. Tammy says, awful that she would expect Rebecca to be an armed security instead of hiring someone. Christina says, how you told Danny that you started Dog Junkies and that those customers were yours and would follow you to Danny's store. You walked out on Diana again and left her hanging. You and Diana are not close. Well, Christina doesn't seems like she's
that's the store manager now. And let me tell you, she's a crotch. I'm just going to tell you, she's a crotch. Okay. So, first of all, me and Diana talk all the time. In fact, I just adopted a dog from her, Christina. So you know what? Fuck off. Okay. Secondly, you don't know what I told Danny. You're only going on hearsay what Danny told you. So again, fuck off. Okay. In fact, she doesn't even need to be in this chat because she is the biggest shit disturber I have ever met in my life. And she is a bigger liar than Danny, guys. And I'm going to tell you that, a bigger liar than Danny. I am still very good friends with Diana. We talk all the time. In fact, we just went to Gina Brown's funeral together. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know nothing, Christina. So shut your mouth.
Well, Christina is timed out now. She's not blocked, but she's timed out. So
good.
I want you to be comfortable. I don't want any of this trash in here. So we will go on. But some of the things that we talked about, you said there were 4 reasons why you left.
Yeah. Okay. So the first reason is pretty simple and non-explanatory. She treated me poorly. I mean, she micromanaged me every chance she got. She told me promises that I would be able to run the store without interruption from her. That never happened. She promised me pay raises. That never happened. She promised me the moon and stars much, and none of this ever happened. So I was treated poorly. At times I would cry at least once or twice a week. I would come home daily and cry to my husband. By the way, my husband is here in the room with me. He's the one that did a lot of work on that thrift store. And how long did it take you to get paid from her? Do you remember? A month. Yeah, it took about a month. And she kept making excuses. But he did a lot of work for her, and he spent a lot of his own money on things that she never paid him back for.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, anyways, but he finally did get paid,
Didn't
and
he kind of designed part of the store for her too, so it would work well. I said, didn't he kind of design part of the store for her so that it would flow well?
So what he did is he made holes in the walls of the rooms so that we could see inside the rooms, so there wouldn't be as much theft. He also ran fiber. Is it fiber? Cat 5. I ran Cat 5 for the cameras and hooked up the cameras and our register machines and so forth. He did a lot of maintenance on things that were broken or that needed fixed. So he did that kind of stuff. And how much, do you remember how much she paid you for all that? Was it like 2,000?
No, it was about,
It was 1,000.
but came back for some stuff I did too. I mean, 5.
Oh yeah. So was it 2,000 total, or was it 1,000 including?
It was sour.
Okay, so she only paid him $1,000. He's saying, and that included what he paid for expenses to
Wow.
get the stuff. So it was shit pay.
Yeah, basically
So-
she got a deal basically.
He was there like at least 3 weeks or 4 weeks before it opened, doing things on the weekends, after work, for work. It was, yeah, he did a lot. Okay, so that was the first reason why I left. And that should have been the only reason that I needed to leave. But so when we opened up the store, Danny said, "Hey, we're gonna do roundup." And I said, what do you mean roundup? And she goes, when you go to the store and someone says, would you like to round up to the nearest dollar? So if it's like, $1.55, it's $2. And then that 45 cents or whatever would go into a pot for the charity. Is everyone familiar with that? I'm sure you've seen it, right?
Right. We
Okay.
all
Yeah. So I was like, what a great idea. So now let me explain something too to you guys. Danny was never a nonprofit at that thrift store. All the nonprofits that came, they would bring in, let me see if I can, my arm is getting tired of holding this. Okay. So the people would, so the nonprofits were all personal friends of mine. They would get their donors to bring in donations of items. We had a contract with them. It was either 70-30 or 60-40. It was always in the interest of the thrift store to get the higher amount. So if they did 60-40, the thrift store got 60, the nonprofit got 40. And her reasoning was this: that we would take in the donations, clean them, tag them, the 60% covered, all the tags and, which is nominal, just a little money, but also the computer software that it took and so forth. So they would get 40, but with that 40%, they would have to commit to 15 hours a week. I think it was a week. Or was it 15 hours a month? I have to go back and look on that. Don't quote me on that yet.
Okay.
But anyways, they would have to work and help out. If they could not, then it would be a 70-30 and we would handle all of it. So they wouldn't have to deal with anything and they wouldn't have to volunteer. Most of them did 60-40 because they would have plenty of volunteers that would come in and help. Not to mention, I had my own personal volunteers who would help because they just loved me, absolutely loved me, and they followed me from Dog Junkies. And maybe talking about, I don't know, but I never told Diana in a million years or anybody that I was stealing her people from Dog Junkies. That's not the case. What was the case is I had a Facebook group that I would use to do my live videos from Dog Junkies. And it was like kind of like a VIP group. And so people would get to see the things that were coming in early. And so it was like kind of like a special thing. And so when I left Dog Junkies, I changed the name of it at Diana's request because, I was the one running it. She said, either give me the group page or you take my name off of it. And I said, no problem. I'll take your name off of it because it was my page. So, anyways, so the nonprofits did 60-40. They would come in and help and do their hours of contribution. And then at the end of was it the end of the month or was it quarterly? I think it was the end of the month. Yeah, it was end of the month. They would get a check and that would give them the 40%. as long as they did the 15 hours, they had to do the 15 hours. And if Danny, I mean, she would check too. And if they were like 14 hours, she'd be like, nope, they don't get it. I mean, she was really that much of a stickler on that kind of stuff. Even though I had brought my own personal volunteers to help. So whatever. So anyways, getting back up to the roundup. So I started asking people, and Noah, her son, was the cashier. So he was up there 95% of the time. I was up there when he took breaks or, had to do something or whatever. And so people would come up and he would ask for a roundup. She asked us to keep track of it, which we did. We would write it down at the end of the day. So I'm thinking, okay, this is legit. She's keeping track. So, at the end of the day, we're like, here's the roundup amount, which was, anywhere from like, $10 to maybe $25 or something like that, something small, but still. And so my thought was like, wow, she's probably going to do this quarterly because you don't want to do it monthly because it's such a nominal amount. So I thought, okay, so probably, every 3 months or so, she's going to cut the check and that roundup will be split amongst all the nonprofits, right? That's what you would think she would do because legally you can't ask for a charity donation unless you are a charity. So what we would say,
which she wasn't yet.
Yeah, and she wasn't. Thrift store was not. We were just basically the wheels that made everything move. So
But
I was
when
thinking
everyone was asked to round up, it was for a charity.
charity. Yes.
Right.
It was the verbiage. She was very precise on this verbiage, and she even told me she talked to an attorney about it. And when I asked her to let me talk to the attorney about it, she wouldn't let me. But
because there probably wasn't an attorney.
Because there wasn't an attorney. That's correct. So we'd ask for this roundup, and so then eventually, it got to a point where it had been a couple months, and I thought, okay, well, that roundup is going to be, divided soon. So I went to her and I said, so when are we going to do the roundup for the charities? When are we going to give them that money? And she looked at me with the strangest look on her face, and she goes, what are you talking about? And I said, well, what do you mean? That's for charity. And she goes, well, yes, it goes to charity. It goes to me to pay the electricity bill and to keep our doors open so they have a place to sell their stuff. That was her exact words.
Wow.
And I looked at her and I went, that's illegal, Danny. You cannot do that. And she goes, no, it's not. I talked to my attorney. Again, I asked to talk to the attorney. She said no. So anyways, I refused. At that point, I said, you may have your son do it, but I refused. And she actually threatened my job, like was going to consider letting me go if I didn't do it. And I said, I won't do it. And I didn't. I did not do it. So that happened. Then the biggest, and this is gonna really chill everyone to the bone on this one, because this is the concept that I had the hardest with. So we kind of followed the goodwill concept. You know how it's like, if it's on the shelf for 30 days, it's 30% off. If it's on the shelf for 60 days, it's 60% off. And if it's on the shelf for 90 days, it's 90% off. I mean, that's, typical. That I think Goodwills do that, or some thrift stores do that anyways. Again, I'm not a thrifter. I mean, I've gone thrifting, obviously, with her and Carrie, but that's not my world. So I don't really know a lot about it. So anyways, so if an item, and I was talking to JD about this as well, because he does that. Hang on real quick. Okay. Yeah, I just was reading that comment real quick. Okay. So no, Tom.
Okay.
So sorry, my dog is sitting right next to me. Okay, so getting back. So let's just start out with an item that comes in from one of the nonprofits. I look it up and it's worth, whatever the amount is. But I price it for $10, which is, a much cheaper amount. Now, she would always get mad at me for pricing because my pricing was a lot lower than the Goodwill, but I also moved things a lot faster and made a lot more money. And so to me, that was what I thought fueled the stores. Also, it would get a lot more people in. When you start raising your prices in a bad neighborhood, people are not going to want to come. So, so that $10 item was on the shelf for 38s. So 38s would come and it's 30% off. So Danny was signed up for the Whatnot app, and I'm sure you guys have heard about the Whatnot. And she would go around and do these videos like right before the Whatnot. And she would go and go, we're shopping for the Whatnot at the Good Stuff thrift store, right? So she would go around and videotape herself picking things off the shelf, knowing that they were 30% off. But didn't necessarily tell the people that she was shopping with that they were 30% off. Didn't show the prices, nothing. So if an item was $10,
percent off, it would be 7.
Yeah, so it would be $7. Okay, so good. So you got the math. So she would get that $7. Then what she would do is she would walk over to the cash register and get her employee discount of 20%. So then what's 20% off of $7? Like $1.
140 off of that. So
okay. So yeah, help me with the math a little bit as I'm doing this. Okay.
560. We're down to 560.
516.
560.
560. Okay. So we're down at 560. Then remember what I told you about earlier about the contract.
Right.
We got 60 and they got 40.
40. So 40% of 560. Oh my God. 56 times 4 is say $2 and some cents. Let's just say it that way.
Let's just say $2.15.
$2.36, I think, or something like
okay.
that.
So then of course she's tax exempt, so she didn't have to pay the tax.
We're down to 3 something, guys. Okay. Yeah. Unless someone's really good at math, they can tell us. Okay. So go on.
So then she would take the item, and then the next day or whenever her Whatnot show was scheduled, she would start that piece of what I originally priced it for. So now what she had told me was that if she sells these items and they go for higher, minus the shipping cost and the admin cost that she had, she was going to split whatever that amount went up to. So let's say that $10 item, she started at $10 and it sold for 30.
Right.
She would, after the shipping and all that, she would split that money with the nonprofit, but that never happened.
No.
And so she would be making so much money. Plus, Whatnot ships free.
So basically,
right? Am I right on that?
Right.
Does anyone know?
Yeah. What people pay for their own shipping on Whatnot. She doesn't pay for their shipping.
Okay.
Right.
So anyway, so you guys get the gist of it. So basically, the nonprofits were walking away with pennies
on the item, and she was making $30 to $40 on an item because she waited until it was marked down, used her employee discount plus the 60/40 that she split with them.
But there's a caveat to this.
Right.
If you go back and look at her Whatnot videos, she's probably going to delete them now. If you go back and look at her Whatnot videos back in that time frame at the Good Stuff thrift store, you will hear her constantly saying, "This was for charity, guys. Come on." Like trying to increase the price of it.
Right.
And these people are thinking the money is going to the charity.
Right. Wow.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Let me read some of the comments and take a breath, take a drink while I read them because we're backed up. So Patricia said, when she had the auction at the time machine, we found out she did not have a business license. My husband went down to get a permit And he was told that she needed to get her business license. That type of work is pricey. Patricia R.L. is the landlord there. Let's see. I'm glad your husband was paid, Rebecca. Out of the 40%, wasn't the nonprofit rent taken out monthly and other monthly expenses?
We did not charge the nonprofits with rent. They didn't get charged any kind of money whatsoever.
Okay. JDA posted a very clear breakdown of this yesterday. My jaw dropped when I heard how unethical her charity model was. Tammy says, what was the average check for the nonprofits? Danny acted like it was a lot of money.
Okay. So in the beginning, when I was there, and I only know this because I still talk to the nonprofits. They're still friends of mine. So,
Right.
so when I was there, it was starting off. Obviously, the first month there's a big boom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts to taper off a little bit. But the reason why it tapered off so much is because Danny refused to let me do any live videos with my local people. She assumed that, her stardom, or whatever she calls it, on YouTube, that she would get people flying in all over the world just to come in and spend money. Well, that didn't really happen. I mean, there were like maybe a handful of people that came in, and they wouldn't buy much. It was the local people that bought stuff, and, she wouldn't let me do my lives. And so basically no one knew what was there. No one would just come down. They wanted to be enticed to come down, and she wouldn't let me do it because she wanted all of the attention to go to her YouTube channel and not me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Mr.
So
and Mrs.
the
Happy
amount, though, she wanted to know the amount. So don't quote me on this, but the first couple paychecks were about like $1,500 to $2,000 for each nonprofit.
Well,
But
that's
when
a
I
nice
left,
amount. Yeah.
when I left, I was told that it went down significantly. Sometimes they were only getting in like anywhere between $400 and $600 a month.
Wow. Mr. and Mrs. Happy says the IRS is going to have a field day with her return. Crazy Lamp Lady, glad you're here, says this reminds me of Savers. If I recall, there was a big lawsuit through the Attorney General because they posed as a charity organization. Vader's Red said, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, the Crazy Lamp Lady, the agriculture of Nevada is going to be very busy. Chumash says this is criminal. Meg says, and she dragged poor Noah into this. Was he a minor at the time? I don't think he was.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was. Okay. Ronnie says her attorney is a little bluebird. Janelle says scammers always seek out good people, then victimize them, their associates, etc. They will ruin you financially, by reputation, etc. Hudson said, ugh, I know about her already, but still, this is such a disappointment to hear how bad it was. Mr. and Mrs. Happy said, I think the karma that has been banging on her door has finally broke through. This is major. Amanda says, how absolutely disgusting, such shameful business practice and behavior. Let me try to go down. I wish the nonprofits would speak up, says Alec. I knew it didn't. That's her whole grift, using nonprofits and auctions. Customers pay on whatnot unless the seller discounts it for the shipping. Taxes, yeah, sure, Ronnie, says Hudson. Sandy says, you folks need to call the Nevada State AG and the DOJ. She's in trouble. Mr. and Mrs. Happy said, one of the file anonymous inquiries with AG, not illegal, as that's what happened with Ruby Frank. Concerned citizens and a concerned neighbor. Did the customers that shop there get charged sales tax? Is it over 8% in Vegas?
Yeah. What's our sales tax on? Is it 8.35? Something like that, 8.35. And yes, they did get charged with tax.
Okay. Hudson says, people came in all over for my case. They would tell me and send pictures. DK said, I know this is about niche, but JDA has been kicked off whatnot for not shipping. Yeah, DK, we're not going to talk about him today. We're concentrating on Rebecca and her story, okay? So I'm sorry if that upsets you, but I want to stick on this topic. Tracy says, Rebecca, so nice of you, looking so well. You worked so hard at that store and deserved better treatment.
Thank you.
Treasure, I am so sorry for the niche fog that you believed. What she told me about you, Rebecca, I am truly sorry. At the grand opening, niche was not much help at all.
Well, can I interrupt you real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Treasures by Gem, I don't know if she wants me to tell her real name, so I'm just going to use the Treasures by Gem name. She came and flew out and helped to help the grand opening, and she was so incredibly sweet and helpful. And Danny drugged me back into that room and basically told me to keep an eye on her. Because she screws things up all the time. I'm sorry, I have to tell you this because I've been wanting to tell you this for years. And she also, was very disparaging against you. But yet, when you were in front of me, you were just an absolute lovely human being that just wanted to help. And I didn't understand Danny's comments about you, but she was not very nice to you, girl. I'm just telling you, she wasn't very nice to you. But I knew different. I could tell you were a very good. At this point, I already knew Danny was a piece of shit. So anyone that she said was a piece of shit, I was pretty much guaranteed that they were probably like an awesome human being.
That's crazy. Lazy Lake Bum says maybe that's another video. Rebecca's doing a great job. Let's stick with this for now. Hudson says, I only got my commission check a few times and she said she had hardship and I told her she could pay later. Thus the next mark I was. Janelle says, has Danny been reported to the Nevada Attorney General? Any ideas?
Yeah, that I'm going to tell you. I want to clear up something on that. I'm so glad you brought that up. So Danny's been reported for animal control. She's been reported for the city of Las Vegas. She's been reported for the state. She's been reported to the FBI. She's been reported to, I don't know, other organizations, I guess. I can tell you with 100,000% that I never knew anything about these claims. I know now who did them, but I had nothing to do with that whatsoever. She blamed all that on me, including the animal control, which, by the way, everybody in rescue knows that we don't call animal control unless it's dire situations, because it's much better being in a home than in a shelter where you're going to get euthanized. So I would have never done that. And so that rumor needs to be stopped right away. Never would I do that. I do know who. I don't necessarily want to say who.
No, I don't think you should.
I don't want to, but I will tell you that they had good reason to report her. The FBI did call me.
Wow.
I spoke to the FBI for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe on the phone-ish.
Crazy.
Really nice gentleman. He got the report in. He told me who reported, and that they gave him my name and number. And I sent him all the emails I had, all the text messages that I had. I sent everything to this guy. That was shortly after I had quit. So I want to say like maybe a couple months after I quit. But I have not heard anything since. So I don't know if they're just, I know they're slow, but this damn slow, I don't know. So I think they just, got rid of it.
Okay, let me catch up a little more. Crazy Lamp Lady says, that's how you know I'm all right. Vicky says, how did Thrifting Vegas fare with her? Any ideas?
Yes, crazy landlady. That's how I knew you were awesome. Well, by the way, another thing, shout out to Joss, because during the time that I left Danny, she was so supportive. Her and Yovan were so supportive to me. I can't thank them enough. Their words really made me feel like, because I thought I was going crazy. I really honestly did. But she sent me this beautiful email. So thank you. I never got the opportunity to thank you in person. So thank you. Mwah, mwah.
And what about Thrifting Vegas?
Tiffany?
Yeah.
So
yeah, go on.
what was the question about her? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
How did Thrifting Vegas fare with her?
I think they're friends. I mean, they're not like best friends or anything, but I think, they have respect for each other. I think, I mean, Tiffany does her own thing. She has her business built. She doesn't have to have like guest people on her YouTube and she rarely does that anyways. She's just one classy lady, that lady. I mean, if you ever get a chance to meet her, she's just above. That's all I can say, above. But she keeps it pretty cool with her and Danny. I mean, obviously they work in a similar field together, so I think they're fine. Do I think she sees that Danny can sometimes be, I don't know, a little crazy sometimes or whatever? She may. She may, but she doesn't like necessarily talk behind people's backs. I mean, she consoled me a couple times and felt bad for me when she saw Danny treating me the way she did. So, but yeah, she's a classy lady.
Okay. We're getting a whole bunch of wows about the FBI, and people want you to elaborate on that.
Elaborate on, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
On the FBI. Please elaborate, if not confidential, your meeting with the FBI.
Oh, so it wasn't a meeting, it was a telephone call. And it was out of the blue. Like he just called me. Like they didn't send me an invite and say, hey, we're talking this day. He just called me randomly out of the blue. He gave me his email. We talked. He wanted me to talk about the Niche Foundation. He wanted me to talk about what I knew about the Niche Foundation, which was very little because, I came in at a different time. Like Carrie kind of knew more about that than I did, but I did know, some basics, like I told you earlier, and I did tell him that. I told him about the nonprofits and about the roundup, like I told you guys, and I told him about the whatnot and he asked me things like, as an employer, how was she? Like, was she a good employer? Did she treat you well? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't know why he would ask those type of questions. The only thing I can think of is he wanted to make sure that I wasn't like a disgruntled employee and just like talking things, negatively. So I stuck to the truth and I just told him everything that I knew. And I was very truthful. He told me that if he needed more, he would be in touch. But I mean, I just basically went down everything that I went down with you guys today. I told him exactly what I told you.
Right. So she's definitely on the radar, sounds like.
Well, she was. I don't know about now.
Well, yeah. Well, once you're on the radar, you kind of are on the radar. Let's see. I have something else here. Catherine says, is it true that Crazy Lamp Lady had to tell her to stop using her name? And then Crazy Lamp Lady replied, I did ask Danny to stop using Crazy Lamp Lady in her keywords. Last I checked, both her and Thrifting Vegas still use me in their meta data, even after asked to stop. Okay, so let's see. Hudson didn't want Tiffany to be brought into this. Let's see. Let's see. Did she ever speak out about what Danny was doing? It must have been Tiffany. So
but Tiffany didn't know. I mean, like literally she would come in the store, replenish her supplies and then leave. She's a busy woman. She had a husband, a couple kids, couple dogs. I mean, and then she had this business that she's running. She had, I mean, multiple places where she was selling, and then doing all those, whatnots and so forth. She was a busy lady. So no, I don't think, I mean, I'm sure she's watching or gonna watch this. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure
Um,
she's.
will she agree with everything? I don't know. I don't know. She's just, she's bipartial, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can say it.
Yeah. Somebody says, Holy Hannah, how can the niche escape the FBI scrutiny? She must be quite the small potatoes. Happy Love says she will again. She will again. And the Good Stuff Store. Oh my God, worse than the Niche Foundation. Yeah. Lazy says, State of Nevada site has the Niche Foundation status is listed as revoked. Wow. Meg says, is that why she started showing up in my recommendations in the first place? Crazy lamp lady keywords. Of course, that's the meta. And Happy and Love says, Tiffany in a video with Niche said, we have something special to announce. She may have gotten perks. Yeah, possibly.
I will say, though, the revoked thing, that doesn't necessarily mean negative. It could be that she, closed it down. I mean, that I've seen that many times, and that doesn't necessarily mean negative. So I don't know for sure.
Treasure says Thrifting Vegas is a sweet soul. She had a lot going on with her mom at the time, too. So now you told us about two of your reasons why leaving. So,
well, there were three. So I talked about.
There were four, you told me. So,
yeah. Yeah. Okay. The fourth one, and this was really the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you guys all heard the rumors about how Danny said she was going to take Mikey Bags of Money down. Everyone heard that?
I have myself, yes.
Okay. So let me back up a little bit too.
Okay.
The reason that Mikey Bags of Money left was exactly what he said on his video. He left because he was going through health problems and his beautiful wife was going through some health problems. Okay. Number two, they lived like 45 minutes away. So it was a lot of traveling back and forth for him to, keep up with the store. And lastly, I'm the one that, did all the accounting for the checks. And so I saw what was I mean, sometimes I would cut the checks. So I saw what they were making and what they were paying. And let me tell you, they barely made ends meet. And then plus it was a very unsafe environment. Like I told you, there was a lady that got robbed right in front of our store by I don't know if it was gunpoint or knife. I don't remember that. It's been so many. It's been a long time. But her purse was robbed. And our videotape got it. We turned it over to the police. And we had homeless people using our back, step areas as a bathroom. I mean, it was disgusting. So, so that's the reason why he left. And Sonny was going through very similar things as well. They weren't making enough money there to justify the time going back and forth. His wife had some health issues as well, and he was also dealing with some things. And it just, so yes, that's the reason why they left. But Danny took it to a different level. She came to me telling me that she was very upset with them and she thought that they were doing this on purpose and that, they were leaving her high and dry. They didn't give it a chance and how dare they. So the last reason I left is one evening I was in the office. It was me and Carrie. We were kind of at the front of the office going through some boxes, doing our own thing, looking for something. In the back, Danny was sitting at her desk, and opposite of her, Picker Road was there. So the Picker Road people were there. And she was crying to them about Mikey and what he had done. And, again, she love bombed them too. They were under her spell too. So I'm not blaming them at all. for this. Okay. It's just the truth on how it happened. And so the next thing I hear is her turning her chair over to them and looking at them and saying, I'm going to take Mikey down.
Wow.
And me and Carrie literally looked at each other with huge eyes. And I went, oh no. And we like ran out of the room because we were like, we don't want to be a part of this conversation whatsoever.
Right. Right.
So that was the icing on the cake, basically. You know, now I was planning on quitting. I quit sooner than that because she basically accused me of giving a homeless man the key to her front door of the thrift store, which was not true. How that went down was when Carrie left and sent her letter of resignation, she told her exactly why she was leaving. Danny didn't accept that. He called me crying. And I tried to get her to understand that that's the real reason why Carrie left. She thought it was some conspiracy theory that we all were like, hoo, let's leave together. And that's not what it was at all. It just happened that way. So what ended up happening is she was crying to me on the phone and she got very upset because I wasn't like sticking up for her or being upset with Carrie, that I was actually kind of more or less defending Carrie. She got really upset with me and basically said, I'll talk to you on Sunday. Now, Sunday was the day that I would go in and restock and get everything ready for Monday for was it Monday or Tuesday that we opened up? I can't remember. It's been like a long time. So I'm trying to remember. But anyways, I had already decided that the way she talked to me on the phone about Carrie leaving, she was just horrible to me, just absolutely horrible. And all the other things combined, I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. So I had called up all the nonprofits. I told them everything that was happening. I told them, you have a choice. You can stay or you can go. But if you go, I suggest that you go soon because, I did tell them I was contacted by the FBI, did not know what was going to happen with that or if, the store was going to be closed down or anything like that. So I just gave them a bit of a warning. Every single one of them supported me, but said, yes, we know we're getting screwed over, but it's more money than we would have gotten anyways. So because I work so closely with nonprofits, I understand that. So basically what they were saying is, so what if she's taking more? It's more money than we would have gotten if, because we don't have anything else that's coming in. So, I got to the thrift store. I packed up my car of the things that belonged to me. And I waited for her. And she was late as usual because she's always late. And this guy pulls up in a car and he comes out and he's in this really nice suit and tie. And he says, excuse me, are you Danny? I said, no. And he goes, well, I'm meeting her here for an interview for the store manager. And I went, oh. So she was already setting up interviews without my knowledge and trying to replace me.
Wow.
So I took the key off, and that was just it. I took the key off. I sat there and looked at her in the car. She would not look at me. She was on the phone with someone laughing and giggling and la, 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 la. And so I'm waiting about 15 minutes. And I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. So I walked up to the guy. I said, you have an interview with her? And he goes, yes. And I said, can you do me a favor? Can you give her this? I handed him the key. He said, yes. As I drove away, I looked out at my rearview mirror and I watched her get out of the car and him hand her the key. She tells everybody a completely different story, that I gave a homeless guy the key.
Yeah.
And that he was going to break into the store and steal all her stuff. So that's how I'm down.
Can you tell us what happened to you after you left?
The liquidation of the stuff?
No, what she did to you, to others, the blackballing stuff.
Oh, yeah. So Diana from A Home for Spot, heard I left the good stuff. And she put me in touch with another lady who was a nonprofit she was on the board of a nonprofit, and they were thinking about opening up a thrift store. And Diana said, I have the perfect person for you. She can consult for you and open up for you. It was an amazing opportunity. I would have made some really decent money. I was super excited about it. I had talked to her over the phone. She was like, yes, absolutely. Yes. We're going to bring you in front of the board of directors, talk to you, and get, and on the back end too. Not only did I open up Dog Junkies and implement that from the get-go, but I also have experience in human resources and accounting for a multi-million-dollar company. So, I mean, I have quite a bit of knowledge, so I was very excited about this opportunity. It was really going to be kind of like a level up, and consulting was actually what I wanted to do. So I was going to do that. They were going to set up the time and get in touch with me. I called her back, like after a week, I didn't hear from her, and I left a message, nothing. I waited another week, called her back, left a message, nothing. So then I called up Diana and I said, she's not getting back to me. Diana said, well, let me find out, because it was Diana's friend. And then she got back to me and Diana got back to me and told me that someone had called her that I worked for. So it had to be Danny, and basically said that I stole money.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I see Picture Road. I love them so much. Hi. And then I also see Val. She's here now. Val.
I
So,
know you wanted to kind of tell the story about how things were done. So
right. That's super important, because I think me and Val differ a little bit on what happened to the stuff. And I think it's because it was at different periods. But let me tell you what I was told. Okay, so that helps. Okay, so when the Good Stuff thrift store was shutting down, okay, I talked to all the nonprofits, and this is what they told me. They said that they were given a call roughly 2 weeks or less from Danny, letting them know that the store was closing. And she knew a long time ago before that. The store was closing, and that if they wanted to come and get their stuff, they could. But here's the deal. They weren't all in a designated area. We used the blue tags for the nonprofits, the white tags for the other, like Mikey Bags of Money and all them. But the blue tags they were grouped by the nonprofit. They had a special ID, which was, I think, like the first couple digits of their cell phone or something like that. I can't really remember. So she told them that if they wanted their stuff, they would have to walk through the whole store looking at these tiny numbers, trying to decipher which was theirs. Now, first of all, nonprofits don't have always a lot of volunteer help. Number two, they don't have any place to store all this stuff. And, they didn't have the time. So every single one of them told me that they just said, keep the stuff. I mean, they had no way. So she did keep the stuff. And this is what I heard from now Diana from A Home for Spot told me this. Diana said that she donated to Dog Junkies. So whatever Danny, now let me go back before that. Val, I think, is the one that told me that she cherry picked all the stuff that was remained. I think it was Val. Was it Val? Was it you, Val? I can't remember. I think you're the one that told me that she went through all that stuff and cherry picked the stuff that she wanted. And then, wait. Oh, thank you, Picker Road. But then they took out all the stuff that she wanted, and then all the stuff that wasn't so great, or things that she didn't have a market for. She put it in a storage unit, and then told Diana from Dog Junkies that they had 30 days to go get all this great donation stuff for the store, as long as they cleaned it out within the 30 days.
Wow.
But from what I was told by Diana, that there was some decent stuff, but most of it was not good stuff at all. So I think Val thought that she didn't. Was right. I wish we could bring her on so that Val could talk, because I
we
don't
will,
remember.
and at the end. So
Okay, so that was my knowledge of what happened from what I got told from Diana and what I got told from all the nonprofits, is that they were offered just a very short time period, and they had to do all the work themselves to get it, and they turned it down. And as
now,
far as they're getting their last checks, when I talked to them, they did get their checks, their last checks. Wasn't for a whole lot of money, but Danny did pay them their last checks.
okay. What about your vacation time? Did she give you any of that?
She was supposed to, but I quit before I could use it. So unfortunately, when you quit, you lose that too, right? I couldn't stand to work there any longer. I was literally like a week away from going on vacation, which I would have been paid for my vacation, and but I couldn't stomach working for a lady that I knew was screwing over the nonprofits, which was my passion. I couldn't sleep at night. I cried every night. It was emotionally taking a toll on me, and my husband just said it's not worth the money, and so I quit.
Okay, there's a couple of things I want to bring up. There was a guy, you said, who donated something of high value, and you wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, there's a guy that's going around telling everybody, I don't know exactly what his name is, but I remember the situation because I'm the one that handled him. And this is going to be in favor of Danny. I know all you guys are like, boo-hoo. But let me tell you, like, I'm sorry, I don't lie. So I'm going to tell you the truth. So this guy claims that he came in and donated a very expensive piece, and that he wanted it to go to a certain charity. And he came a few days later and he found his item on the stage where Danny's stuff was being displayed. He's right. It was on Danny's stage and it was being displayed there, but it was a white tag, not a blue tag, but we purposely did that. And it was in the benefit of the nonprofit, because the blue tags, if you remember correctly, I told you that after 30 days, it goes 30% discount. After 60 days, it goes 60. The white tags were never on sale unless who, like Monkey Bags of Money or Thicker Road or whoever, decided to have a sale. Okay. So that way this item would not be discounted and the nonprofits would get the most money for this item. And because it was on Danny's stage, it was more of a ooh item. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, totally.
So unfortunately, she did do good on that.
Okay. Now,
but it was fortunate.
the other thing I wanted you to reiterate was about the lady who sent her $1,000.
Yes. So when she moved into the scorpion house, and let me tell you guys, she did have scorpions. I know I've seen a lot of people go, oh, she's just, making up things. But yes, she was a horrible tenant to both of the places that I knew her when she was renting. Horrible, horrible tenant. She complained nonstop. Even with the good stuff thrift store, she complained nonstop. Some of the things I agreed with, some of the things I did not agree with. But yeah, she was a nonstop. So this lady sent her $1,000, and it, in the card or the note or whatever, it said, take this $1,000. I know how expensive moving is. And I'm just like looking at myself like, what the actual fuck? This woman makes so much money, and and another woman sends her $1,000, and she cashed it, people. She cashed that check.
So you said she was pulling in 30 grand.
So she showed me her screen at one time that showed me her account, and she had quite a bit of money in her account where I guess YouTube paid or whatever. And she told me that she got paid anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000 a month on YouTube. I have been doing a lot of research on this. I don't know if Jocelyn is still here, but Jocelyn has obviously a lot more followers on YouTube, so she probably makes decent money. But I still don't think she made that much money. I mean, I can't, like, I've checked it out, and I mean, I think the most she made total was maybe 40,000 in several years, but that's what she told me. So,
Wow. Okay, here's the other thing we talked about that I think is important that people hear about her Christian persona.
oh, you think she's Christian? All her followers, if any of her followers that are absolutely in love with Danny is watching this right now, let me tell you, she is not a Christian. She uses that as a persona because she knows her viewership, people. She's playing you like a fiddle. She knows that her followers are Christian and they're older. And so she claims to be this God-fearing woman. She's not. She doesn't even go to church. She doesn't even talk about church. She doesn't even, the whole time I was with her, she didn't even talk about God. She, has issues with gay and lesbian people. She's told me that many times. She was super worried that her youngest was going to be gay. And she was like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. And I'm like, with love, treat it with love.
Wow.
She very conservative, so like super conservative to the point where, she was a tad bit racist in my opinion. She made a lot of racist comments in front of me, and if anyone knows me, knows that I don't tolerate that at all. So that really affected me when I would talk to her. I'd avoid those conversations because it would really piss me off.
What do you want to tell people about watching her videos and subscribing to her videos?
Okay. So I see this all the time. I'm like, people, you just saying that you're not going to go and watch her videos does nothing because you are subscribed to her still. So stop. First of all, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Hit her where it hurts. Unsubscribe. And then even when you're unsubscribed, don't go back to her channel. Don't communicate. Don't do the thumbs up, thumbs down. Even a thumbs down is giving her some kind of money. And she laughs about it, guys. She tells me it's like to her, there was no negative comments, even though some of the comments were deleted, but it still gave her, extra bonuses on YouTube. And, this is how she makes her money. So, stop supporting her, guys. Stop, please. She's not a good person.
Okay. Tell us about the sick cat.
Okay, it's Sick Cat. There was a video done with me and her. We went to the flea market one time. And she videotapes this little kitty cat who came up and was rubbing up against us. And we were petting the kitty cat. It was kind of sickly looking, definitely homeless. And she got a bunch of comments on her YouTube video. Like, I can't believe you just left that cat there. That cat's in horrible condition. You need to go back and save it. She called me up so pissed off in the morning one night and was like, you need to get your nonprofit people to come and pick up this cat because I'm getting, and I have screenshots of this and I can send it to whoever. But she, you need to go and, get this cat off because I'm getting, hell for it. So I reached out to Christy from Hearts Alive and I asked her if she would be able to get this cat. And she says, yes, I can take the cat, but you guys have to get it for me. We don't have the manpower to do this. So I went back and I told Danny, I said, she will take the cat, but you need to go get the cat. Danny rolled her eyes, was like, no, I'm not doing it. That's her job, not my job. And then went on another live video and told everybody who asked about the cat that the cat was saved and doing well. And that's a lie. It never happened. That cat is probably still there, or if not dead.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to hit some of the questions in the chat. I want you to think about when I'm saying the questions, if there's anything else you want to talk about, because I know you told me that you're starting your new life and you want to put this all behind you.
I do.
So that's why you came, is because you want to get rid of everything. You want to move on. You don't want to talk about her anymore. So let me read some of the questions and comments. And if there's anything else you want to say, we'll say.
Well, one thing I want to address, Ellie Mae just said, sorry, but being a conservative does not equal racist. I never said that. I just told you that she was very conservative in her views. What I did say is that she made very racist comments to me, and I'm 51 years old. I think I know what racist means. Okay.
Let's go back then and let's see where we are. There was something. Oh, do you know how the other staff from the good stuff are doing? Betsy, Matt, Patty.
Okay. I don't talk to Patty or Matt anymore. I don't know what happened to Matt. Like, he quit and he was like out. Me and Carrie tried many times to text him just to see how he was doing, and he never answered us. But with that being said, I think it's because his phone was like it was on the fritz all the time. So he may have gotten a whole new phone and a whole new phone number.
Okay.
But we have not been able to find him. We wish we could. And if he ever watches this video, we hope he reaches out to us because we absolutely loved him. Patty, I haven't seen since, honestly, because she's one of the ones, her and Betsy, you know, they stayed after knowing everything that she did. And they were glamored by her. And unfortunately, I mean, I think they woke up at the end when they were let go. But yeah, no,
Okay.
I haven't talked to them.
I know there was chatter when Picker Road came in, and they said that they're a positive channel and they wanted to move on after her. And since you know them personally and feel that they're great people, we're
Yeah.
going to go with that. And I don't want to talk about them much while we're here.
Yeah, I will just say this about Picker Road. They're one of the ones that are above. They're high class. They were also totally hypnotized by her. I still talk to them quite often. I mean, we text, and we just texted the other day, actually. And I think they're going to come out to Kentucky and visit me. But I love them very much, and they don't want, just like Carrie, they don't want anything about Danny on their channel because it's just negative. And they're like first class. They're like, Jocelyn, they're up in that category.
Okay. Chumash says, thanks at Pickeroo for letting us know. Understandable to stay out of the drama. Lord knows there's a lot of it. Kennedy's Castle said eventually it was thrown in garbage bags and sold. Brenda witnessed it all and would sit there and wait for these people while Danny would do whatever. Picker says, thank you, Chumash, and anyone who watches our channel. We 100% support Rebecca, Carrie, Mikey, and Sonny. That's awesome.
Thank you.
She did it on Facebook Marketplace, says Kennedy's Castle. She wanted me to list it because people found her post. Nitch stated she had that stuff hauled to dog junkies along with the shells, which she wants paid for. Did she use a CPA or accountant for her business taxes, or did she file them by herself? Do you know?
She had somebody that did her accounting for her in Texas, but I don't know who that was. She said that she was a good accounting, but I don't think she had like a degree or anything like that.
Hang on one second. Okay. There was a glass eye piece in Jaw Junkies that she took to auction in her YouTube sale. Never saw that happen. You were there, Rebecca, if you remember.
Glass eye?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think. That's like an odd glass eye. I mean, like really like an eyeball they're talking, or is that like a nickname for something?
I guess. Weird, huh?
Says,
how is this woman not in jail or worse? You all know what I'm talking about. Happy says the good stuff landlord wanted her out and said, Get out by February 1st and I will drop it or not pursue it. Bet she withheld rent for a couple months and then kept it, but still charged everyone. Vision says it might have been an outlier after a viral video like she slapped me. Hudson says she's not Christian. Happy says, I knew damn well she wasn't. Actions prove, and she represents deceit. Kennedy's Castle says she always says that, would Jesus do I laugh when days that if she was a Christian, she would never do any of this. Chumash says true Christians don't behave this way. Patricia says, ha, Christian. She introduced me to a fellowship, and a few years later, the fellowship asked her to get help or leave. Danny is an opportunist, says Letitia. Live for my babies. Her nasty rhetoric is what made me stop following her. As soon as I heard about this, I unsubscribed, says Sandy. Happy says, pimp. She would really be worried now. Catherine says her selfishness got to me about the dog having cancer and she wouldn't put it down. What a selfish, horrible person. Crazy Lamp Lady says all engagement is good engagement. Vladis Rad is going to have a lot of material for deep dives. Give her the money to tell you about Danny. Hudson Vintage from Chumash. How to collect and sell it. What do you mean? Hudson says they can just ignore her. If they don't watch, she will not get anything. It's called attention economy. I will be doing another updated video, says Kennedy. Hudson, how Chumash says how to collect what makes sense. Let's see. Not
So,
this. What? Go ahead.
so I see, so Joss is saying GES paperweight. I'm thinking that's like the glass eye thing. I do kind of vaguely remember a paperweight. This is not my world. And so, very well, she could have said that she was going to auction it off and give it to charity. And that never happened. So, yeah.
Crazy Lampley, and I'm like, I'm going to keep this mouse, and everyone is like, let it go. Lake Bum says she wouldn't save a cat. Crazy Lamp Lady just saved a mouse. Hudson says cat story is hitting me hard. I have to go. Sorry, Hudson, about that. Calypso says, Jocelyn, I was glad you kept the mouse. Meg says, Catherine, not to mention, she keeps throwing George's the antique nomad name around like their besties, trying to grift onto support George is getting because he is going through sorry, the chat keeps moving. A cancer treatment.
I
Madeline
met
said,
George. He was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. He came into the thrift store. I met him and his partner, and they were amazing. But I haven't heard anything. I don't know. Are you saying he's sick or something?
Yeah, he has a form of a cancer. I think I forget the
Oh,
name. It's very sad, but
I'm
he's doing
sorry.
good. It's not. Yeah, he's getting treatment. The cat thing really pissed me off, says Susie Roy. Whoa, so many things coming out. I noticed one thing in her video. She seemed to never say please and thank you to employees at stores. That always bugged me. She must be losing subs, says Janelle. Protected subscribers is decreasing. Patricia said it's very easy to fall under her spell. She's a fantastic manipulator. Let's see. Catherine, she has supposedly had him appraise a few things for her. I'm trying to get to the bottom quick. So if I don't read yours, I'm sorry. Okay. Ellie Mae says super conservative to the point where he was a tad bit racist. Yes, I rewound, and that is exactly what you said. Maybe not what you meant, but is what you said. Shake my head. Okay. Treasures by Jem says, oh my God, little white quail, how the heck are you? Darlene says, Hudson Vintage, what happened to you and Danny? I don't know if she's still here. Let's see. I came in late, says Quail.
Oh, look at there's Vicky. I didn't see you in there. She's also Vicky Laurent. She's amazing.
Let's see. Tipton says, I always thought she was horrible to you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
You were so nice to her. I feel bad for what she did to you, but you are better off without her. George is the best, says Meg. Let's see. Hey, Chelsea, I'm great. How are you? Miss you. Kennedy's Castle says he's so cool. Spent time with him in Springfield. Darlene Happy says, Darlene, ask about Hudson's channel. Ask on Hudson's channel, please. This is about Rebecca and Danny. Thank you. And Vicky says, I remember when she tried to be a friend with Misty of Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter. Jill says, so she got the items for free that she sold, basically. Treasure says, at Little White Quail, doing okay. Looking forward to the situation to be over. I miss your warm, bright energy. And Letitia says, people want this to stop. And there's been so many nonprofit organizations and people that have been affected by Danny Ackerman. I hope she is finally punished by the law. So, is there anything else that we didn't hit upon that you want to talk about?
I mean, I think what I told you is a good amount of stuff. I'm sure, if I thought about it longer, there would be a whole lot of things, but at this point, you guys get the gist of it. You see me, I'm not hiding my face, I'm not saying not anything against you guys, but I mean, I'm saying so that Danny couldn't come back and say, oh, she's hiding. You see who I am, you see how I am, you know a little bit about me. You've heard the comments from so many people that went through the same thing. I mean, look at what she did to Val. Like, out of all the people, what she did the worst to Val, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I took hard on the store, but after the store, she took the brunt. Val got her ass kicked, but let me tell you, Val is one strong ass woman, and she, will fight back. And I love her. I wish we could have hung out. We were supposed to hang out, but now I'm moving to Kentucky, so I won't be able to hang out with her unless she comes to see me. But anyways, Val's an amazing woman, and she beat her up. She uses people. This is a constant thing. Like, she love bombs the crap out of you, tells you how amazing you are, tells you, like, gives you an insight of this fairy tale land that, just looks so perfect, and that you're going to, finally be able to support your family. And, she's taking you with you, and this is going to be a big deal. Just like, I mean, same with Picker Road. She told Picker Road, oh, we're going to do this reality show and it's going to be so great. But, she micromanaged them so much that, Will couldn't use his creative time. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'm trying to mute.
That's okay. I'll read some of the comments here while you're muting. Okay, let's see. Treasure says, little white quail, doing okay. Looking forward to the situation to be over. I miss your warm, bright energy. I might have read that already. People want this to stop. I read that. Misty is scads better than the niche lady could ever be. What about her studio rental house? Letitia says. Unmute. I can't hear you.
Sorry, my dog was still barking.
Okay. What about the studio rental house? Do you know anything about that?
I don't. That was after my time. I heard from other people that she rented a house, and that she told people that she was living there, but she wasn't. And she was in an HOA, which HOAs out here in Las Vegas do not allow that. I believe Val had the address to that.
No, I
place.
think Vic didn't have the address. She thought she might have, but I don't think she did.
Hi,
You
Betty.
to tell your story. So happy now you have this platform. Can't ban you like on Reddit. Little White Quail says, I bet I am flabbergasted at how many people have been victimized by this one person. It's all madness. Sending hugs and loves to you, Chelsea. Pet Patrol is here. George is the best, says Man and Bijou. where can we hear Vale's story? Vale has videos on her page, and if she wants to come, she can message me through Funky, and we could do a video. Typical scammer approach, says Janelle. I have a video. Letitia says, "We love you, Rebecca. You were like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs dealing with the wicked witch." She says, "Tommy, I'll tell you a supporting your family from a YouTube life. It's damn near impossible." Treasures by Jim says, "God bless you, Rebecca. I would love to chat. Hugs to your hubby and best wishes." Happy in Love says her rental is being used as a business because she employs a shipping person and photographer. Yo, says Pet Patrol. Heart says Letitia. She rented the house and I thought I had it in my GPS. It makes me sick. I don't. I wonder what George thinks about her, and she's going to find it. She promises. So now I hope Funky is here. I haven't seen him, but I can text him. I would like to see if anybody else wants to come up, join you on the panel for a little bit. I don't have a ton of time, but just a little bit. So let me see if Funky will send the link out to the chat. Can you hear me, Rebecca? Because I don't know if I can. Okay. All right. See if anyone else wants to come up for a little bit. I do want to stipulate this, that we're only going to talk about Rebecca. If someone had a thing with someone else and they want to do it, we're not going to do that today. We're respecting Rebecca and her wishes to move forward and move on. So let's just talk about that. So if there's anyone on, as soon as Funky is there, gee whiz, can you see what you can do too? We can get him to send the link. Hopefully. Funky, where are you? I'll keep reading the chat. I'm here learning, guys. Oh, there he is. He says, "Get the likes up." Funky's here. Let's see. Lazy Lake Bum says her admit they've been bamboozled because they question their own intelligence. Hopefully they will watch and realize all these people have been hurt by her. It's not jealousy. Get the likes up. Funky says we got 300 people in here. Please like our video. Funky pays for us on his own with StreamYard every week so that we can bring the truth out. So if you can like it, it would support him, and I would appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, I've been waiting for a very long time, and I went back and forth deciding whether or not I was going to tell people, you know, my side and let people know what I went through. And I just never felt it was the right time. I didn't want to hurt, specifically, I did not want to hurt anybody's YouTube accounts, you know, because there was a lot of unfollowing of, you know, like Danny would have her people unfollow Mikey and Sunny and Carrie. And, you know, I just didn't want to hurt their channel. And so I remained somewhat quiet. I think I did a little, like maybe 3 paragraphs on Reddit, where I just talked about me. But I just wanted to be very careful. But, you know, time has gone on and, you know, their channel should not be affected anymore, hopefully. And if it is, you know, that would suck for me because I don't want that. But now was the right time because I saw everybody else was coming out. And I will say that there is a level of fear that brings with Danny. And, you know, I'm pretty strong and I don't, you know, let bullies bully me. But she does have an intimidation factor. And she, you know, her threats are, you know, sometimes intimidating. So if there's another person watching out here that has been affected by her, just know that she is all bark and no bite. In fact, I think the reason why she tried to threaten me specifically is to make me afraid of her, but I think she's actually really afraid of me.
Is there anybody who wants to come up on the panel now? Raise your hand. Funky wants the likes to get up, so he will drop the link. Sonny is here and he's saluting you, it looks like.
Hi, Sunny. I love you. I miss you. It's so good to see you. And congratulations. Woo!
Yes, congratulations, Sonny. Let's see. Yes, she is scary while you are under the spell. DK says, thanks, Rebecca, for telling us about your experience. I think you're brave and this will hopefully help. That's too bad. Nobody should own that. I'm so sorry. Rebecca is a class act, says Buick. Terry says, I unsubscribed from the niche thief. Miss Happy says, because Danny uses pit bulls to do her dirty work, but it will lead back to her, especially the docs. Sonny is here, afraid to tell the truth, or afraid of the truth, says Crazy Lamp Lady. Yeah, but wait. Sonny, everybody's saying hi to Sonny. Sonny, thanks for your support for Rebecca. Hi, Sonny. Yeah, Sonny. Thank you for Rebecca today. Jason is giving us a $5 shout out. Thank you, Jason. And the dark always comes to light, says Colorado Pet Patrol. Great way to support. Rebecca is the greatest. Let Rebecca keep going.
I'm not. I'm human, and I've made many mistakes, and I have learned from it. I've grown from it. And I will say this. I've met some really great people along the way. And so Danny did give me some really cool friends in my life, and I'm super happy about that. She also let me lose some really good people in my life as well. But I'm just normal. I'm super normal, guys, like super normal.
Let's see. We got 319 in here and only 150 likes. Sonny, you made me cry with your video why you left the store. Could see you a beautiful soul, just dim during that time. Thank you for sharing, Rebecca. It's so nice to hear your side. The most amazing jewelry. Pet Patrol says we all make mistakes, but just own it. Swell as you have. Jason says, love you, Tammy. Happy says Jason is honest, and once you watch him, okay, you know where I'm going with this. Retro says, let's see. I just got waved to from the window outside. They're watching me. Retro says, let's see. I lost it. Sonny and Jocelyn, I can listen to you and Rebecca all day, every day. Yes, I could too, but I want Rebecca to move on.
Me too. It's time. It's time I put this to bed. I'm moving to Kentucky. It's like a fresh start for me. Again, I know, I don't know if, God, I forget her name. Who's the one that's doing the investigation thing on her?
That is rad.
That is rad. Yes. If she's still watching and she needs some stuff, I have no problem emailing her some stuff if she wants it. I just didn't want to like bog down her email. I know she gets a ton of emails and stuff, so I didn't want to bog it down if she didn't have any use for it. But if you're still watching and you need that, let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Patricia, for the $4.99 support. Let's see if there's anything else. Talked to Jeremy yesterday. No wonder you love him so. Gail says, hi, Dawn. This is me hugging you and Edgar. Jason's videos are elite, says Carol Newman. Tammy says, firm believer that everything happens for a reason. Happy trails on your next venture, Rebecca. Rebecca, you know that you can reach out to me anytime. You can
Of course. You're a dear friend.
Yes.
Mima, you're a dear friend. You always will be. And you've supported me and many others that, we can't say names, but you know who they are. They've supported me, and thank you.
You're welcome. Gee whiz says, thank you, Patricia. Gail says, hi, beautiful. I didn't see any hands up about anyone wanting to come on. So I am going to thank Rebecca again, wish her well, wish her a blessed life in a new land full of great opportunities. And
Animals.
animals. And if anyone wants to reach out to her, you know where to find her. If anyone else wants to come and tell their story, they can come too. Just like I said, reach out to Funky. He'll get to me. And Funky, I'd like you to come up and wish us well and on our way and say thank you to Rebecca. Gee whiz, are you there, my dear friend?
I am.
Anything you want to say?
I want to say thank you. That this was very, very interesting. Mima had me go to a live with her for that lady y'all have been talking about. I don't have anything kind to say. And I'm sorry for what you all experienced, honestly. I would just like to see some sort of karma go in that direction.
You know,
Don't
all
we
this,
all?
Not nice. I mean, seeing how everybody, I've been watching the chat and seeing how so many people have been affected in that negative sense, and it's just not right.
there are 300 people here supporting you, Rebecca.
I didn't
That's
know that.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
amazing. And I think it's absolutely great. But
That's awesome. I'm like, I was like thinking maybe 12 people would, honestly. I was
300
like, maybe 12.
right now are still here, and Funky's gonna say, "Stay, keep talking," and I'm like, "I got stuff to do." I've been working at my cousin's house helping price things for an estate sale. I have to tell you guys what I found today. Well, what was found? There's a whole box full of gold sparkle Dorothy Thorpe cocktail glasses, champagne glasses, and little like cordial glasses. And they're like, I looked up just the cocktail glasses and they're like $800. And I'm like, what am I going to price these things for? It's crazy.
Well, you
Crazy.
know, if you find any bulldog stuff, English bulldog, you
Oh,
know,
I have,
that's me.
there's tons of Great Dane stuff. That's what my aunt and uncle.
I like them too. I love all dogs, but English bulldogs are my thing, you know. Yeah, they're my babies. You know, also one thing too I wanted to add before we close. So this was a huge learning experience for me as an individual because, you know, even though I am older, but like I still like, you know, I don't want
I
this
can't
to all be
for some
negative.
reason.
Like I learned a lot.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Did you
Can
mute?
anybody hear me?
Did you mute?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you, Rebecca.
Huh. I don't know why.
She's laughing and we can't hear her. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can text her real quick. And tell her. Hang on.
So no one else can hear me?
I hear you fine.
Rebecca, can you
And
hear
the
her?
chat hears you fine.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear Rebecca?
Yeah, they can hear me.
But you got that weird little, like you're fading out there, Mima. Must be cloudy. Would anyone else like to come up? Does anyone have any questions?
All right, my dogs were barking again, so I did mute it that time, but but I just wanted to let you know, like everyone know, like I did learn a lot, and I grew from it. So I did have some positive come out of this. I wish it wasn't in the context it was in, but I really did grow as a person. And you know, even though I would like to see justice done. I don't want any harm being done to Danny, or her kids. So, I know that sometimes people get crazy ideas and stuff, but I just want you guys to know that I don't condone violence, and please don't send her. I got threatening emails, from someone who claimed to be, a fan of hers. I was told that it was probably, somebody that, JDA, was talking with, but I'm not sure. But they sent an email saying, and they literally had my address on the email, and they had my husband's name and my name. And they said in an email at the very bottom that they knew where I lived, obviously, because they had put the address, and that I needed to shut my mouth and never talk about her again. Otherwise, they were going to come for me. So that fear was so incredibly scary for me.
Well, yeah.
So I just wanted to let you guys know that I would not want that even on my worst enemy, because, I have my dogs, I had my kid with me. Like, it was very, very scary. Very, very scary.
I absolutely understand. And yes, how scary and how shitty. Sorry, you don't take and wrap up the family and especially the children. Stop. There's a point in time.
Yeah, I
We're
would
adults.
never hurt her kids. I loved her kids. I loved Noah. I loved all of them. They were amazing. And me and Jordan really got along really well as well. Trust me, guys, Jordan knows her mom needs work. Okay. She knows it, but it's at the end of the day, it's her mom. And you have to remember that. Now, I don't agree with her backing her mom publicly, but again, it's her mom. And so, no one else is doing it right now. Danny's running thin on friends. She has none, pretty much. So, I would just say that, Jordan is a remarkable, very smart, she's super intelligent, guys. And she actually has a very, very big heart. You just see her in a different light. You guys don't know her. I've actually spent quality time with her, and she's a very bright young lady, and she's going places.
Well, good for her. Hopefully she can get out from under that umbrella and away from it altogether and
Yeah, me
just
too.
go
I
her
hope
way.
so.
And that's, yeah.
Well, if she's
Hopefully
watching, if Jordan is watching this, she has my number. She can always reach out to me. But also, I just wanted to let her know that, if it ever comes the time where she needs someone to talk to that knew her mom, that I'm there for her.
Oh. Well, if I knew any of them, I'd be sure to pass that along. Where in Kentucky are you moving to?
It's a small town called Princeton. Very, very small. We leave tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, basically. So literally my house, as I was doing this with you, I had movers packing up my stuff. It's been very crazy today, but I definitely wanted to make sure I got here to let you guys know what was going on. And I also just want you guys to know that, I was affected, yes, but there were other people that were super affected. And I just hope that, they come forward, because Danny needs to be stopped. She needs to stop what she's doing, because, she shows no signs of slowing down. And that's the issue I have with her is, yes, I'm upset that she cheated nonprofits. Yes, I'm upset with the way she treats people and all that, but she shows no signs of slowing down at her age. And it just
That's sad.
it worries
Excuse
me.
me. Second, Rebecca. Funky, would you let Mima back in?
I'm back in now.
Oh, she's
I'm
back
sorry
in.
about
Okay,
that.
keep going, Rebecca.
Keep going, Rebecca. I have to
Okay.
mute for a second, though.
Yeah.
Gina. Okay.
Well, yeah, Catherine, Jordan can be nasty. Absolutely. I've seen it. She's been nasty to me. But what I'm saying is deep down inside, I know her, and I know her nastiness comes off because she's in a defense mechanism. That's her defense mechanism. Trust me. I mean, she knows her mom does horrible things. She does. I mean, we've spoken about this many times. She's actively working behind the scenes to make her mom a better person. Unfortunately, Danny's not learning how. And as hard as Jordan is trying, I'm just not sure. Like I said, she's not slowing down. So I don't think it's working. And so that's why I'm telling, Jordan sees this, that just to let her know that, I understand, girl. I understand.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I mean, just think
How
of it
old
this
is
way.
Jordan?
Like, how would you feel if someone was attacking your mom?
Not very
Mhm.
good.
Right,
And that's a good kid to defend the mom too.
right,
That's a
right.
really good kid.
Yeah, what I wanted to
Wow.
say about the whole situation with that is all she's got to do is come out and say, I made mistakes. I want to do better. I know I've hurt people. Um, be accountable. But she never is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you
Never
know
will.
what?
And that's
If
all people
Danny had,
want.
yeah, if Danny had been accountable, and, I mean, here's the thing. Even if she was accountable for the things she did to me, she would have to be accountable for all the things she did to everybody. You know how long that would take for her to go down the list and be accountable for all the things she's done? It would take her like years to go through all that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's innate in her at this point. That's just who she is as a person. And, I would like to say or think that it was because, of the hardships. I mean, she hasn't had it easy either. I mean, she told me some things, um, that I don't want to repeat because it's private, that between me and Danny, but she had told me some things and, I feel for that. And, you know, maybe that's why she is the way she is. But then I look at people like me, I've gone through things too, and I'm not doing that. So I don't know. It's a hard one.
Right.
Does anybody have any other like
Let's
technical
see.
questions for me that they want answers or rumors to or anything like that? Because like they said, I mean, I'm this is it. I never want to have her name come out of my mouth again.
Um, Unfortunately, people take partial screenshots of conversations in chat, then spin it bad or good to meet their agenda. Jordan is actually very sick too. Look at her stepmother short and mother-in-law short. Nope. Isn't that when you go no context? Says Cynthia. Carol says Jordan used film flammery to have our Reddit taken down. Chumash says Jordan should put her baby first and let her mom fight her own battles.
Yeah,
Cynthia
I
says
agree.
out her mother-in-law. Colorado says I would always defend my mom. Jordan attacked her mother, and now because she wants money, it's all okay. She made a horrible TikTok trashing her mother-in-law.
She did. She
Yeah.
did. Years and years and years and years ago. She did.
Uh,
Um,
let's see. Jordan doxed and then taunted an innocent Reddit user. Um, let's see. Jordan is enabling her mother. Sometimes doing the right thing is hard, but take accountability and be responsible to make it right. YouTube is hard. I think a lot of people get caught up, says Crazy Lamp Lady. Tammy Jones says her past is no excuse for current behavior. She's doing bad shit to people, says DK. Danny can stop right now and not apologize. She can just stop the harm and give us a reason to stop talking. Well, I still would like her to apologize to the people she's hurt, but that's just me. Um, let's see. But people can see what she's doing. Agree, Tammy. Jordan is a mini Mia Danny. Don't be fooled. She mastered it. Hudson 100 says Manabiju. Jordan is obsessed with herself, says Carol. Um, Cindy says, no, that's recent. Queen Victoria, have a good day, Funky, and everyone. Love you, Queen. The problem is anything Danny or Jordan has said to gain your sympathy are likely to be lies or best a twist of truth. Jordan was nasty to me in a board meeting when I had done nothing wrong, says Vision of the West Coast. I'd like you to come and talk, Vision. Carol,
You know, one thing about the Jordan thing too, guys, remember how young she is. She's in that age group where she feels entitlement. I'm sure some of you guys have children that, you know, are around that age that, you know, want things handed to them and stuff. And, you know, and then, you know, for lack of a better words, think their shit don't stink type of thing. And yes, that's Jordan. But I know her deep down inside. I mean, I literally had heart to heart conversations with her. So, I mean, you know, respectfully, you know, I would say that I would think I would know a little bit better than most people in the chat.
Lake Bum says, Crazy Lamp Lady, are we allowed to use your name or is it copyrighted? It's copyrighted and trademarked. And it really is if you look it up, not like someone else. So you'd have to ask her about that. Gail says, Hudson Vintage, you are so correct. Your assessment is happening or is honest and helpful to what is happening right now. This needs to stop on all levels. Crazy Lamp Lady said, it took me a while to learn and take criticism, feedback, and adapt and acknowledge when I am wrong. Humility is hard to learn. Thanks, Gail, says Hudson. It must be terrible to realize you have no friends left. What a lonely life, says Paula. Cynthia says she's 30. Happy says you only stopped interacting with her when you got kicked off being a mod, Gail. Says someone. Crazy Lamp Lady says, my name is federally trademarked. It cannot be used without her permission. And that's
Yeah,
her.
I mean, yeah, so maybe you guys can help me out on that. What's the difference between trademark and what was the other thing that she was, I
Copyrighted?
mean, copyright, yeah. Like copyrighted is like for like artwork and things like that, correct?
Right, but when you become a persona, an entity like and a brand like
Mhm.
Crazy Lamp Lady, you can copyright and you can trademark it.
Oh,
Trademarking costs a lot more money. I think I heard 10 grand or so to trademark your name. So that's the difference. And we all know she's not going to pay for that. But
right,
we'll lie that she has it. So,
right, right. I mean, it's easy to look up those type of things too. So, I mean, if people know where to look, it's pretty easy. So,
right. Becca says, I love you to pieces. I would have to be very deep. It would have to be very deep. Crazy Lamp Lady. One time my daughter accidentally said, let's watch Crazy Lamp. Well, that's different. Lazy Cramp Lady. Oh, that's funny.
crazy cramp.
Yeah.
That's
You've
me.
always
I'm the crazy cramp lady.
you've always shown up with class. Oh, there was something I missed that she said. Crazy Lamp Lady. It took me a while to learn to take criticism, feedback, and adapt and acknowledge when I'm wrong. Humility is hard to learn. Yes, it is. And no one is perfect, and we all make mistakes, and we all try to do better, and we all try to be better people.
Yeah,
Y'all, a narcissist cult will always have their devout followers. Their leader can do no wrong. She has those people. They will not budge. Nope. We can thank Jordan for all this. She banned all the Reddits. Maybe. I think I still might have done this anyway. YouTube is addictive. It is designed to give people a platform or deliver or good or bad messages that will keep people coming back and viewing the next chat. Not ours. It took learning, says Crazy Lamp Lady. Her cult thinks she is family, so they will defend to the death. That's what
that's
isolation.
true. That's
Parasocial relationships are real. Crazy Lamp Lady says, I'm still learning. Carol
you know,
says, Jordan caused all of this to go down 100. Well, yes.
There's one thing too that I forgot that just came up, and I think Jocelyn will get a kick out of this because, she will know what I'm saying. So Danny would buy glass pieces or ceramic pieces, breakable, let's just say breakable pieces. And might have, a small little chip here, or a little chip here, whatever, a couple chips. But she would sell these things and then turn around and tell me, I can't believe they're buying this stuff because it's really worthless. But when she was selling it, she was telling people, oh, it's, has little imperfections, but it's still valuable. It's still worth money. But then after, she would get off and say, oh my God, I can't believe that went up to, $60 and it's got a couple chips in it. So my thought process, and again, Joss can tell me if I'm wrong or not, because she knows more about this. My thought process is, yes, you want to tell people that there's chips in it, but you don't want to convince them that it's worth more or that it's more valuable or some sort, because at the end of the day, if it has cracks or chips or whatever in it, the value decreases significantly. Am I not correct on that?
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, okay. You're kind of muffled, and I just hit something on my phone again. So it's
Uh-oh.
crazy. I can't hear Rebecca now. Again.
What?
Oh, there you are. I can hear you now. Okay, good.
Oh,
Good. Let's see where I was. Gail
that she
says, with
speaks
all
badly about followers and buyers offline. Oh yeah, that people used to come into the store from states away, like literally driving states away, and just want a small little glimpse and a picture with her, and she would just bark and and then they would leave and she'd be like, oh my God, they stunk or whatever. She just she does not, I'm telling you, she does not like any of her followers. I mean, there might be like a couple that she, maybe likes because they buy stuff from her, or so much stuff from her, but she talks shit about everybody. Like no one is good. And I don't know her, but I've heard Danny talk about her. Some girl named Melissa that works for her, but I've never interacted with Melissa. At least I don't know. Maybe I have, but I don't remember. But anyways, that poor girl, I don't know if she's still with Danny. Maybe you guys could tell me. But that poor girl, she just talked the worst about her. She would be like, oh, she's a 500-pound woman that can barely move, and she has no life, and that's why she does all my minion work for me and blah blah blah. And I just was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe she was saying it. So horrible.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
And I know that Melissa does endless work for her and probably gets very little kudos, if anything.
Did we get a response on the whole broken glass thing? Did anyone? I didn't see it, but did anyone? Am I wrong by that? Is it still valuable if it's broken or chipped or cracked?
Depends on the piece, I would say. Crazy Lamp Lady or JDA or somebody else might be able to tell me more, but
oh yeah, JDA could tell too. Yeah, I forgot that he was in. Hey, JDA.
Yes, I've heard her say mean things about viewers and buyers, says Treasures by Gem. Oh, another one. Oh, good. Now we have some collaboration there, guys. Happy says, Crazy Lamp Lady. Now, Gail with ya, but in Niche's chat went right along with her bashing you. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people fall under her spell while they're with her and follow her. And then when they're out of that spell, they might see things clearly and maybe they can apologize to the people they hurt while they were under her spell. I don't know. Hudson says at Lake Bum, yes, she is cruel when talking about them. She says she has to replace them before they die. Oh my God, that's awful.
Who said that? Who said that?
Hudson just said that she says when she's talking about like Melissa.
Yeah. You
Oh
know
my,
why? Because she knows her clientele are Christian women who are, elderly. Like when I say elderly, I would say like, maybe 70 plus. And they they literally live on Social Security. I actually had one lady tell me, she emailed me and she bought some pieces from Danny. She couldn't pay for them right away because she was waiting for her Social Security money to come in.
wow. House of Rue Rocks official says, oh, just lost it. Crazy Lamp Lady says, yeah, it's cool. I always say that if people meet me in person and don't like Mr., then I deserve it. But if they don't like me based on what they've heard, that's on them. Broken glass is junk in my book, says JDA. Hey, Rebecca. He says to you, Meg says it can be, it depends on the piece. It's also on if they're buying it to keep or resell. Spruced and Gussie says, sounds like abhorrent behavior. Glad I never fell for it. Happy says, Melissa compiled a spreadsheet for Niche with all the Reddit users and YouTube channels. She did. Cynthia says, phew, 70. Kelly says, that's so gross. JDA says, Danny didn't speak highly of Crazy Lamp Lady, not on camera. She explained how it benefits her to copy the Crazy Lamp Lady for views. Tammy says, did you tell her that was an awful thing to say, Dawn, or just say, oh, Dannykins, you look so beautiful in that twerk? Well, like I said, when people are under someone's spell,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, I admit I was like, I don't know how she did it, but again, lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, someone's asking about her cash flow problems.
Visions of the West Coast. With her cash flow problems, I'm curious if it is, in your experience, a good stuff. Did she meet her payroll on time and withheld payroll taxes?
She always paid payroll on time when I was there. And yes, the taxes were taken out. She used a payroll company, one of those ones that you use online. I forget the name of it, but it was like a very popular one that she used. So, yeah, Josh, she told me that you had confronted her about it, and she had no intention of taking that off because a lot of her income comes from piggybacking off of you. And that's what she would do, is piggyback off of people. And she would say horrible things about you as well, but I didn't even know who you were at the time. Again, this was not my world, so I didn't know who you were. But she would say horrible things about you. And Carrie would always come behind the scenes and be like, no, she's actually a awesome person. Don't listen to Danny. So obviously I believe Carrie.
Let's see. I never bashed. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm not going to get into the little bashy talk in the chat. I wanted to talk about Rebecca. You guys can figure it out yourselves. You're adults. Why did she pull Noah from working at the Good Stuff store? She made a lame excuse.
Well, no, she didn't pull him. He did not enjoy that. He was miserable there. I mean, he wanted to be playing his video games and so forth. So she basically one day woke up and called me and said he's no longer coming back to work. And so I was without a cash register person for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hudson said, I resigned publicly and told everyone about Reddit publicly in my bank statement showing fraud. Thanks for asking, Tammy. How did it even happen that she has these rabid fans. She made my skin crawl the moment I met her. Happy says, hey, Gail, it's in a chat. You go find it. Okay, that's okay, whatever. Crazy Lamp Lady said, I heard a lot about what she said. Tammy says, Crazy Lamp Lady mentored her. QuickBooks, maybe, said Letitia. And Hudson says, she never said anything bad about Crazy Lamp Lady to me. Treasure said, we all come together in the name of truth. I'm truly sorry for the things that I may have said about Rebecca while I was under the spell. Let love win. Amen to that.
Hey, girl, don't worry about it. Trust me, I never took anything to heart because I knew you were under the same spell that I was. So trust me, you're good. You're good. You don't have to apologize anymore, okay?
Meg says she's real into paperweights right now, too. Sound familiar, Crazy Lamp Lady? JDA says, she told me she started Crazy Lamp Lady. I would think, how could that be? Crazy Lamp Lady has many, many more subs than initially. Oh my God. Thank you, Mima. Sorry about that, says
Seriously?
Carol. That's insane. I agree, Idaho. He seemed to know, really like working there, did not know that he didn't like it. She started the Crazy Lamp Lady. Let me get some receipts, says Crazy Lamp Lady. That is absolutely ridiculous. She's reprehensible. Yes,
He
I can
wasn't
send you
18
what
when
I
he
have,
started.
says
I'm
JDA.
sorry,
What?
but happy in love, he was not 18 when he worked for me.
Oh my God, the hubris of trying to claim she started Crazy Lamp Lady. Gail says she was extremely jealous over Crazy Lamp Lady. Just listen to her. Lake Bum says, rocks, it's because it's hard to admit you're gullible. Instead of thinking critically, people rationalize. Okay. I'm tired. Are you tired,
I'm
Rebecca?
tired. Yeah, I'm very tired. You know, I mean, I just want to thank everyone for coming. And, you know, again, you probably won't see much of me unless you follow me on Instagram. You're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram on my farm life. I can send, I don't know if I can send the link or whatnot, but if you want to follow me with eventually I'm going to get some chickens, maybe a Highland cow. I'm definitely thinking about a mini donkey. But I want the ones that like you're, you know, messed up in an eyeball or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate the chat, how it was nice. I appreciate how you treated Rebecca and gave her the respect that she deserves.
Thank you.
And I thank Funky for allowing us to be here. I hope he's here now and he comes in and says goodbye to everyone. I hope. I hope you're here, Funky. If not, I know he's got his kids right now. So, oh, he's here. Come on in and say goodbye to everyone so they know who Funky is. And I love you. And I hope you do well. And contact me anytime, like I said before. Thank you, G Wiz, for helping. I appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
so much. Anything you want to say, Rebecca? Just say goodbye.
No, just goodbye and good luck to everybody. And, you know, please, you know, look out for one another. And that's about it.
Bad as Red is Friday, 7 p.m. What I saw was her pushing one of those people into opening a booth and the good stuff, regardless of the people. We're all crazy lamp lady. We are all crazy lamp lady, says Carol. I love you, Rebecca. Thank you for
I love
coming.
you too.
Thank you for
Yeah.
telling your truth. And like I said, get in touch with me soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. I'll let you know once I get settled in Kentucky. Everyone have a great night. I'm gonna go and tend to my dog. Oh, do you guys want to see my doggies real quick? Let
Yes.
me show off. Okay, hold on. So this is Tom Tom. I saved him from Korea, the
Anyone
meat
know?
market. That's Tom Tom. This
Oh, yeah.
one is Maddie Girl. Hang on. That's Maddie Girl. And she, I found her, I got her from a home for Spot as well. She was like maybe 2 pounds. Her jaw was broken and her eyeball was hanging out, but we fixed her up and took
Wow.
care of her. And then I got my English Bulldog Lily passed away, which devastated me. And so I got, let's see, this is Bailey. That's Bailey Boo. And then this
Uh-oh.
is, let's see if I can get Theo, come here.
Oh, there's a pup.
Hang on. Let me see. Yeah.
Aw.
That's Theo. He's my French bulldog. So I have an English bulldog, a French bulldog, a Maltipoo, and like a Brussels Griffon Chihuahua mix. So that's it. All right, guys, I'm gonna
Beautiful
head off
animals.
because I have my movers here still. And
I'm gonna say goodbye.
Safe travels.
thank you guys. Have a good one.
Safe travel. Right.
Bye bye.
Let us know when we're.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. I love you. Bye.
Thank all of you guys. It's Funky here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being so respectful, generous with the donations. Thank you everyone for the super chats. Make sure you all hit the subscribe button for future updates. We will be doing this more often. This is an open platform where people can speak their minds, their opinions, their facts. Thank you so much, Crazy Lamp Lady, for coming here. It's an honor. Thank you so much, Vad is Rad. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, Hudson, for being here. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, Rebecca. You are the greatest. You were so sweet. You were truly amazing. Thank you to my moderators. You guys were excellent. Love you guys forever. Thank you, Meemaw, for hosting this. Thank you, G-Wish, for hosting this. You two ladies are truly amazing and inspiring. We love you, and we couldn't have did it without you two guys. Thank you guys so much. We love you. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button on your way out for future updates. I'll be editing this up really good so you guys can rewatch it in different parts, because I know no one's going to want to sit there and watch it for 2 hours and 20 minutes. But thank you guys. I love you guys. It's Funky here. I kind of want to change the name from Funky. I need a more professional name. Probably just go by my first name, which is the name of Iron Man, Jarvis. I love all you guys. You guys are beautiful. If no one told you that today, Funky told you that today. Thank you guys so much for the inspiring stories, the inspiring truth. Everything went smooth and great today. So get ready for future updates. Thank you guys. Love you guys forever. Mr. Funky is out of here. Thank you. Enjoy. God bless you all. Continue to be great. Now go be great people. Go be great moms. Go be great dads. Go be great grandmas. Go be great uncles. Go be great aunts. Just go be great. And everyone that's part of the Funkettes and Funkies group, I will see you guys tonight. Love you. Thank you. See you, Fernanda. Love you. Love you, Mima. Love you, G Wiz. Love you, Celeste. Love you, TG Chicago. Love you. Whoever else is here. I got a few things to do, but love you guys. See you guys soon. Go be great.